Kinda wish there was some way to tell if I was going to be featured on SourceFed this week. I do have that new super high-speed internet that lets you download videos before they've even been uploaded. Maybe I could take a peek. Oh. Hey guys, my name's Adam if this is your first time here. Today we're going to be talking about Spaceballs for SourceFedNerd's Movie Club. Great choice, awesome movie. I love this movie. I have loved this movie for a long time. This movie is basically, it's a spoof on Star Wars, but it's really a spoof on just about every sci-fi movie that's ever existed up until that point. It's basically about a guy named Lone Star and his dog Barf that they try to save a princess, kind of like Star Wars, and there's this guy, Dark Helmet, who's kind of like Darth Vader that's trying to get them, and they gotta outrun a bounty by Pizza the Hut instead of Jabba the Hutt. This movie stars Rick Moranis, John Candy, and is written and basically made by Mel Brooks, who's also in the movie. That's pretty much all you gotta say. The guys that steal this show, really John Candy is the guy to watch in this movie, but also Rick Moranis is amazing. And Mel Brooks, I mean, of course, there's a holy trinity, if I can say that, of awesomeness right there. You can't go wrong with that. Also, other guys in this movie are guys that I saw that I had recognized. I couldn't really tell where they were from. I always wondered where Lone Star, what he got up to after this, because I hadn't really seen him in anything. Turns out he's in lots of stuff. Most notably Independence Day. He was the president in Independence Day. And yeah, looks exactly like him, obviously. It's the same guy. And Colonel Sanders was the camp director in American Pie. Yeah, now that I notice it, you know, he's been in a lot of other stuff. I don't watch much TV, so maybe people have seen him around more than I have, but that was kind of cool. Other things that are interesting about this, the characters, is there's a character named Dot Matrix in this movie, which, you know, for those of us that are Canadian, there was a Canadian television series that actually got picked up in the States for a while called Reboot that had a character named Dot Matrix in it, same as a character in this movie. Very cool. Also, I have to admit though, I saw this movie before I ever saw Star Wars. That might be kind of, I probably shouldn't admit that. I probably should, you know, being a Star Wars fan, I probably should say, oh no, I saw Star Wars the day it came out. But no, I actually saw this movie before I saw Star Wars. I didn't know what most of the jokes were about, but having seen Star Wars and gone back years later, I mean, not even years later, once I had seen Star Wars, I got all the jokes right away. And that's the other thing that I wanted to mention is, as a kid seeing this movie, all the adult stuff is, like, it goes over your head, but there's not that much of it. You know, there's a scene where Dark Helmet, he crushes a guy's balls. That's funny to a kid too, you know? There's plenty of stuff in, like, America's Funniest Home Videos where guys are just getting hit in the balls. It's not any more inappropriate than that. And the scene where Mel Brooks is taking a pee and the lady kind of watches him. I mean, it might be a little inappropriate for kids, but I mean, they don't really know why. They just know that, you know, he got caught doing something embarrassing. That was all I thought as a kid. And there's one scene where Dark Helmet says something about, I bet she gives great helmet. No idea what that meant as a kid. I even asked my parents and they're just like, I will tell you later. But that was the only one that stuck out as sort of really adult humor that I can remember that, yeah, you know, that a kid shouldn't watch for. There's probably more that I'm forgetting, but that was the one that always stuck out. This movie, it mocks just about everything. You know, there's references to Star Wars, references to Star Trek, where he does the Vulcan nerve pinch. He does it in the wrong spot, so the guy helps him find it. It mocks Aliens, Planet of the Apes. It even mocks the Universal Studios logo at one point when the spaceship transforms into a maid and sucks up the air from from the planet. It even actually mocks the concept of movies altogether because it just destroys the fourth wall in so many scenes. And that's what's really great about this movie is it does such a cool job of breaking the fourth wall in a funny and awesome way. Some movies can do it. You know, there's a lot of movies out there that rely on it to get laughs. This one would break the fourth wall every so often, but it would do it in such an extreme way, like killing a cast member during a lightsaber fight. That was the funniest joke I had ever seen as a kid. And the scene where they rent a tape, or they don't rent a tape, they get a VHS tape of Spaceballs and they watch it to find out how the good guys are going to win later on. Awesome! It's never been done before, and nobody dares to touch it because they know that they can't do it as well as it was done in this movie, so nobody's even tried to do it since. With that said, oh, and merchandising, of course, there's merchandising for the movie in this movie. Awesome idea. Again, breaks the fourth wall in just the weirdest, funniest, off-center sort of way. An interesting point about that is apparently George Lucas gave full permission to mock Star Wars in this movie, but as long as they didn't sell any of the merchandise. And, I mean, I like the idea of Yogurt kind of the ultimate Star Wars character selling off all this merchandise, being obsessed with merchandise, kind of like someone else involved in Star Wars. And it's kind of an obviously jab at George Lucas, but the other sort of jab is when he watched this, he's got to be thinking, are they going to stick to their words? They've already put so much work into merchandising this movie. How do I know that I can trust them not to sell all this stuff that they're already pushing in the movie? And the other thing that I thought was cool is this castle. The castle, it stuck out like a sore thumb to me. Maybe, I don't know, maybe because we're so sort of used to CGI built stuff. It was like, that's a real castle. I thought maybe it was a model and then, you know, Photoshop or whatever. But no, that is a real castle. It's actually the same castle that Disneyland was, the castle in Disneyland was modeled after. My favorite sort of part of this movie, I love the confrontation at the end where Lone Star and Dark Helmet have it out and they're kind of almost like buddies, but they're kind of, I mean, they're trying to kill each other, but they're also kind of like Dark Helmet's just like, oh, put her there, and then he takes the ring and he's like, I can't believe you fell for that. He's like the ultimate jackass. He's not like as evil as much as he's just a jackass. And that's the other thing is he's like the ultimate small guy syndrome. He throughout the whole movie he's just kind of in a dick measuring contest with everyone. He's, you know, I don't care if you say we can't go that fast. I'm in charge. We're going that fast. And you know, it obviously shows that he's an idiot for it. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this movie. If you haven't seen it, what are you waiting for? It's been 30 years and it's my favorite comedy. I'm going to say that. Yeah, my favorite comedy. I'm going to say that. Go check it out. It's awesome. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks and have a good day.